Marcus and Larissa. Marcus, I last saw you in that chamber back there, where you were hiding. What is it like to talk about things in public then? Undoubtedly, it differs somewhat. Considering that there was so much talk about our relationship in the beginning, I believe that we were both simply being careful. But now that we've made it public, it's getting simpler. Definitely, the cat is out of the bag. Escaped the bag? Yes. It was in the bag for as long as you could manage. Right. Who decided to eventually say, hey, I simply want to put it out there? I believe it happened more gradually because, for us, our relationship felt like it was being broadcast live in the media. We wanted to spend a lot of time together as though we weren't dating. Then all of a sudden, it was as if we had just flipped a switch. It can be challenging to date in public when you're just hanging out and it's not serious or anything because you're still trying to figure out what it is, in my opinion. And after that, it's claimed that you people are hiding, lying, and doing other unsavory things. We were merely hanging out as friends, in reality. We had just recently begun to socialize as friends. So, in a way, I think that was what served as our inspiration. It seemed, okay, fine, like how we're dating right now. Should we now inform everyone? We did, however, manage to spend some time together over the holidays. She came to see some of my relatives. I went to see some of her relatives. Therefore, I feel like that was easier for us once we learned that our families were comfortable with it. You were always referred to as Larissa's friend. Did you have any feelings about that, or was that the subject of a conversation between you two about how I should address the public? We were friends, after all, and we communicated for a good 3 years before deciding to meet up, so I didn't feel that way. As a result, our friendship came first. Yeah. On the episode, Separation Anxiety, you talk about how you might have assumed, this guy is just my friend. I'll set him up with the girls in my group. He is a fantastic person. What was the turning point when you realized this was the right guy for you and not someone else? We were hanging out and in a club when I had the impression that he was being approached by someone. And I simply had the impression that he is kind of cute. I'm not sure what it was, but I clearly recall thinking that night, do I kind of have more feelings for him than just, a friend? Then I kind of began to believe that he is my guy. Not for anyone else, no. What was the turning point for you then? I'm not sure, She is a stunning woman, both inside and out, so it goes without saying that I have always been drawn to her. I never considered it to be a possibility for something to exist in reality. I really wanted to hang out and spend more time with her, And after that, everything simply occurred gradually. But the first time, I believe I came down here for just a couple of nights with the intention of hanging out in Miami. And then, it snowballed into around 12 nights when we were simply inseparable and hung out constantly. Therefore, I believe that at some point over those 12 days, the thought occurred, alright, this is the one. Although you undoubtedly spent some of your childhood in the spotlight, this is the highest level of public attention you have ever experienced. How has that experience been, then? Did you offer him any guidance on how to manage this, too? It's undoubtedly unique. I grew up in a very sedate environment, My family is still pretty private even now, However, I believe I handled it politely. I'm not sure. Although there is a slight learning curve, I feel like I'm learning something new every day. Yeah. No, I feel like I'm just sort of giving him advice now and then. I think, wow, this isn't Orlando. Due to the fact that I believe Orlando to be smaller, I feel like you're on a bigger stage now, I guess. Yes, indeed. There are undoubtedly more individuals watching. I've always navigated as if I were in the public eye because, obviously, my last name is a very prominent last name, but now things are a little different. You long ago gave up your right to remain anonymous. Yes, I believe that I am very open and that my use of social media reflects this. I believe that I enjoy discussing many aspects of my life with others, such as my experiences and the struggles I face. As a result, I believe that I have always been a transparent person. Therefore, being on a TV program or podcast is merely another way that I share my life. Yeah. There's also a possibility that you'll be in charge of the conversation this time. It's not as somebody tearing your words apart or editing you in a particular way. Was this your motivation for starting the podcast? To finally regain control of your story? In my opinion, I feel like there was constant talk about us. I feel like so many things are said about me, and I've always just kind of been like, that's so untrue. That is untrue. So I thought, hey, let's record a podcast. Or we could essentially express our ideas and explain the facts since a lot of what they say is false. Yes, I believe there were a lot of misunderstandings. And, some people claim Larissa used to watch me when I was a kid. Therefore, I believe that separation anxiety currently affords us the chance to express ourselves. Yes, I am aware that you already addressed this in the episode, but let's do so here as well. You two only met a couple years ago and didn't know each other before that? Not at all, no. No. Would you agree that the most common assumption about your position is that your families are tightly knit and constantly in close proximity? A number of people. Yeah. That wasn't the case. Exactly. No, I don't believe we spent a lot of time together when I was little, despite what many people may believe. And to be honest, when we first met 4 years ago, we didn't communicate that regularly. But I believe that as time passed, our friendship grew stronger. Yes, I believe that I have been referred to as your auntie by some people. And I say, hello? What are you referring to? I find it amusing. Even inside our partnership, we occasionally have a lot of the topics we have on the podcast for the first time. Therefore, I believe that during the podcast, we discuss topics such as having children and, the dynamics of, dating someone who has children. Therefore, we have undoubtedly had some of those in-depth discussions in the past. On the podcast, however, it almost makes them seem real. It almost seems like treatment. What do you like best about Larsa, then? Larsa has a distinct personality, which is my favorite aspect of her. There's never a bad day when you're hanging out with Lawson, in my opinion, because she's so effervescent, fun, kind, and compassionate. No, that's adorable. I'm grateful. What do you like best about Marcus? Marcus seems to be a lot of fun, knowledgeable, and creative. He supports me in numerous ways, as an example. Of course, discussing the past of your family is important. Have you now had the chance to meet the Jordans? What has your family's opinion been? Relationship is at the moment. Are we entering a more serious phase or are we still in the honeymoon stage? Will we still be getting married in the future? I'm very thrilled. Bravo, in my opinion, is where we belong. I think the cast of our show is doing a good job. Is advanced, and Miami, in my opinion, is fantastic. The world's hottest city is there. Therefore, I believe Bravo is a fantastic environment for us.